So why doesn't America have a king? Why didn't we go from King George of England to King George of Washington? After the American Revolution, America had one big question. Who's in charge? At first, the answer was basically no one. The new country was so afraid of centralized power that they created the Articles of Confederation, a government held together by duct tape and good vibes. Congress couldn't tax, couldn't enforce laws, and every state just kind of did whatever it wanted. And in 1783, the Newburgh Conspiracy erupted, where a group of still unpaid Continental Army officers started whispering about a potential military coup against Congress. And because they were so powerless, their response was basically, well, we can't stop them? Fortunately, George Washington stepped in, called a meeting with his soldiers, and before he even started speaking, he pulled out his glasses. Now, most of the men had never seen their infallible George Washington wear glasses before, and he said, "Gentlemen, you must pardon me, for I have grown not only gray, but almost blind in service of my country." Mic drop. He then told them why the coup was not going to work, and then some officers cried, and the conspiracy just kind of fell apart. But by 1787, it was pretty clear America still didn't have a functioning government. So the founding fathers got the band back together and wrote the Constitution. And a lot of people in the Constitutional Convention were nervous about pure democracy. Alexander Hamilton, of all people, even proposed having a president who served for life, as long as he had good behavior. Basically an elected king with checks and balances. But most of the founders rejected this, fearing another King George III situation. You know, a spiteful, aging king with a squad of yes men and an ailing mind taking his revenge out on the people just kind of randomly. Weird. The compromise, a strong president with limited powers, elected by the people, only kind of. Thanks, Electoral College. Then came the next debate. What do we call this person? John Adams, who loved a title and talking, wanted something like His Highness the Protector of the Liberties of the United States. No surprise, Congress was not really into that and settled on Mr. President. Simple, American, and no hint of royalty. But here's the thing. Once he was elected, Washington still stayed really popular, and if he himself had wanted to stay in power, had wanted to be king, it probably would have happened. But instead, after 2 terms, Washington stepped down, setting the example for all future presidents. I'll repeat, setting the precedent for all future presidents. And when King George III himself heard about this, he supposedly said that if Washington really gave up that kind of power, it would make him the greatest man in the world. And that's why America doesn't have a king. And why, instead of bowing when a president enters a room, we just kind of awkwardly stand and clap. Because they're a human being.